What happened to the lost 12 days of Christmas? No, really, where did they go? Christmastime has historically been a season rich in tradition, starting on December 25th and continuing through the new year, with the 12 days of Christmas culminating in the celebration of Epiphany on January 6th. But now people say it's bad luck to leave your Christmas tree up after December 31st? Excuse me? No? So let's talk about how the commercialization of Christmas has drastically altered our celebration timeline, because I'm mad about it. I'm Katherine Kellogg, and welcome back to the Going Zero Waste YouTube channel, where today we're talking about how the 12 days of Christmas completely disappeared. The festive season now begins earlier and earlier, often as soon as Halloween ends, and by the time December 25th arrives, many people feel that Christmas is over. And this shift has not only compressed the holiday season, but has created a really strange gap between Christmas and New Year's, a period that used to be filled with festivities, but is now often marked by a sense of anticlimactic. Anyways, it's anticlimactic. And if you have ever felt this weird energy in between Christmas and New Year's, press that like button and make sure to subscribe so you can catch my next videos on the holiday season. To understand how the Christmas season has shifted, it's important to first look at its origins. Christmas as a holiday has its roots in the early Christian church, but many of its customs and timing were influenced by pre-Christian pagan traditions. The decision to celebrate Christmas on December 25th is widely believed to have been influenced by the Roman festival of Saturnalia and the pagan celebration of the winter solstice, known as Birth of the Unconquered Sun. These festivals, which took place around the shortest day of the year, were times of feasting, merrymaking, and gift-giving, all of which later became associated with Christmas. The 12 days of Christmas was filled with religious observances, feasts, and social gatherings. In medieval Europe, each of the 12 days had its own particular significance, often tied to the lives of saints or biblical events. For instance, December 26th, known as St. Stephen's Day, was traditionally a day for charitable giving, reflecting the spirit of generosity associated with the season. In addition to the religious aspects, the 12 days of Christmas were also a time of community gathering and revelry. In many parts of Europe, this period was marked by plays, music, dancing, and other forms of entertainment. For instance, Queen Elizabeth I commissioned the play What You Will, or what we commonly refer to as Twelfth Night, from William Shakespeare as part of her festivities to end the Christmastide season. Playing Viola in Twelfth Night is still one of my favorite roles in shows that I've done to date. Now, did I make this YouTube video just to drop that into conversation? Maybe. So the culmination of these 12 days was the celebration of Epiphany on January 6th, which commemorates the visit of the Magi to the infant Jesus and is considered the final day of the Christmas season. Even though Jesus definitely was not born in December or January, but that's not the point of this video. One of the most significant casualties of the commercialization and early start of the Christmas season is the loss of the 12 days of Christmas. If you watch old movies, I love old movies, you might notice people picking out their Christmas tree on Christmas Eve, and that's because it was normal. Each of the 12 days once held its own significance, often linked to religious observances or local customs, and it was a time of joy, reflection, and community. A stark contrast to how December 26th is now viewed, seeing that it's the biggest return day of the year. So this shift has created this really strange gap in the holiday rhythm, with an intense buildup to December 25th, which leaves the following days feeling really anticlimactic. Instead, today we're left with this odd in-between week where many people return to work, the festivities feel oddly incomplete, and if you do have to go to work during this week, it might feel very unmotivating. The focus on Christmas Day as the pinnacle of the season has eroded the importance of the days that follow, leading to a profound loss of tradition and meaning. Much of what once enriched this time, reflection, gathering with loved ones, and communal celebration, has been replaced with a relentless focus on buying. And yes, the erosion also has to do with the capitalization of New Year's Eve resolutions and getting you right into the mood for shopping. Self-improvement. By prioritizing a prolonged commercial lead up to Christmas Day, we miss out on the richness and the depth of this season. The 12 days were meant to strengthen social bonds and deepen the joy of the holiday, yet these traditions have been abandoned in favor of consumption, leaving a hollow space where connection and meaning once flourished. So, with the holiday becoming increasingly commercialized with a growing focus on gift giving, shopping, and material abundance, the observance of the 12 days of Christmas has just disappeared. Surprise, surprise. Chillin', feastin', and relaxing have come to the chopping board. And I mean, are we really surprised? Now, there's a lot more emphasis placed on the lead up to Christmas Day rather than the days that have followed, and everything is being replaced with, you guessed it, stuff. And I love stuff. Actually, really, no, really, I really do love stuff. Stuffing. So good. Let me know what your favorite holiday dish is, because this is the one I look forward to each year. This is the stuff I can get behind. Sorry for the really bad dad joke. So we decimated the 12 days of Christmas. Now let's take a look at how we've ruined Advent. Advent is a season of spiritual preparation leading up to Christmas. It's been observed since the 4th century and has historically been a time of fasting, prayer, and reflection. Today it begins on the 4th Sunday before Christmas and lasts for 22 to 28 days. Marked with the Advent wreath, a circular arrangement of evergreens with 4 candles symbolizing hope, peace, joy, and love. It also includes unique hymns, prayers, and readings that emphasize anticipation and hope, but it has been drastically overshadowed by the commercial buildup of Christmas. Thanks, Coca-Cola Santa. That's a separate video, though. So Advent's deeper spiritual purpose and connection with friends and family has been completely lost by, well, this.
One of the things I've always wondered is if you have these giant boxes, do you reuse them? Do you just throw them away? Also, if you've ever gotten one of these advent calendars, have you actually used and enjoyed every single product?
Even then, a good portion of those things are at least consumable. This, on the other hand, 40 pieces, because, why stop at 25? Now, Advent calendars didn't start out like this. Originally, it was quite banal and meager. Chalk marks on wall, paper doors that could be opened to reveal Bible verses or religious images, to build anticipation for Christmas by providing a small daily reminder of the coming celebration. As Advent calendars gained popularity, they began to evolve, becoming more elaborate and commercialized. By the mid-20th century, chocolate-filled Advent calendars were being produced, offering children a daily sweet treat as they counted down to Christmas. And if you're going to go for one, I gotta say, going for a calendar filled with chocolate probably would be my go-to. Definitely a fan of a more consumable calendar as opposed to a calendar that's going to be filled with a lot of stuff that you probably don't want and don't need. I mean, my biggest gripe about the makeup calendars is you're going to get stuff in shades that you're probably not even gonna use. So this shift has reflected broader changes in society where consumer goods and indulgences are increasingly associated with the holiday celebrations. Now, today it seems every company is offering an advent calendar filled with everything from luxury beauty products, gourmet food products, alcohol, expensive toys, and honestly a bunch of junk that, probably gonna wind up in the landfill. So these calendars are marketed not just to children, but also adults. And they do tap into that desire for a little daily indulgence and excitement and surprise. And I'm not going to downplay the fact that, surprises are fun, but eventually you're just going to be left with a bunch of stuff that you probably don't want. And they fuel this culture of consumption that epitomizes the excess of waste of the modern holiday season, with mass production, excessive packaging, and reliance on non-recyclable materials. So to combat this, I'm making my own advent calendar for this Vlogmas. Yes, you heard that right. I am doing Vlogmas. I've done maybe 4 videos this whole year on YouTube, but I somehow am going to do 10, and I'm doing them with Shelby, hopefully to hold myself accountable, and I'm so excited about this advent calendar I made. It really focuses on presence over presence. The idea is to create something that ties back to the real meaning of the season, which is enjoying spending time with the people you love and doing things to create those holiday memories. Because I don't know about you, but I only remember a few gifts from my childhood. The things I remember most are the time and the people with whom I spent. And I want to create the true magic of the season, which really doesn't have that much to do with stuff. So instead of things and knickknacks, each day will have its own activity, and we'll explore that activity in a more sustainable way. Shelby is also doing this, and I think some of our days overlap, so make sure you check out her channel as well. And I cannot wait to see how her DIY advent calendar turned out. So if you would like to join me, I've made a list of different activities down below to hopefully inspire you for more presence over presents and more connection over stuff. I'm also really new to vlogging, so please let me know if you have any tips on how I can make this better. Make sure you like and subscribe so you can see how well I'm doing, A, at keeping up with Vlogmas, and B, on reframing this season. So make sure that you check out my DIY advent calendar down below. I think it turned out absolutely darling. What do you think?